Good morning, everybody. Well, there's been a political earthquake in the Netherlands because yesterday in the elections, which was the 22nd of November 2023, Geert Wilders and his party, the PVV, the Freedom Party, won the elections to the lower house of Parliament in the Netherlands. It's equivalent to the House of Commons in the UK and the House of Representatives in the USA. So now we have a party in there which is against mass rapid immigration, which is a huge problem all over the Western world. And people have voted for them en masse. So the Netherlands is a very interesting country in terms of its politics and in terms of its election system, because the whole country is essentially one constituency and it's completely proportional. So you get very much the number of seats in Parliament that is proportional with the number of votes that you get. So there's 150 seats in the House of the lower house of Parliament there, and Geert Wilders' party has gained 37 of those seats. So just under a quarter of the vote he got was by way the largest party in terms of the votes that he got. But there are, I think, about over 12 parties that got over the threshold to get one MP or more than one MP into the Parliament. So there's a lot of different parties there, and they'll all be negotiating and talking with each other to see who can form a government. Now, it should be the case that because he is the leader of the party that got the highest number of votes, he should be able to be the prime minister, but that's not necessarily the case. He needs to persuade other people to come and join him in a coalition so that the coalition has over 76 seats or more, because that will be a majority in a 150 seat house there. So whether that happens or not, I don't know. But, congratulations to him for winning, because he's well known for two particular positions, of course, that is being against immigration and also wanting to make the Netherlands safe again, and being open about talking about migrant crime, which is very real. The rate of crime among migrants in the Netherlands is much, much higher than in the indigenous population, as it is in the UK and France and Germany and Sweden and many other countries in Western Europe. Whereas Poland doesn't have those problems because it says no to migration. It might start having them now because, unfortunately, Poland has just elected a centrist globalist government. So they are probably going to spend the next 4 years undoing all of the good work which was done by previous governments who have controlled their borders. The policy of the Polish government now is to open their borders. So Poland, unfortunately, is going to start having the same problems as the Netherlands and France and Germany has, and the UK and Sweden, as I said, and Belgium and the Netherlands, all got problems with mass immigration and migrant crime. Now, Geert Wilders and his party is also pro-leaving the EU. So that's going to be very interesting. If he can get enough people together in a coalition, the Netherlands might leave the EU. Now, looking at the parties that have got seats here, that it's actually probably unlikely, unfortunately, that he's going to get a coalition together of people that are going to agree to leave the EU. But, they might agree to tighten up on border control within that. So we'll see what happens. I need to say, however, that he is a mixed bag, and his party is a mixed bag, and they often get painted and tainted and smeared as far right, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, that's just a smear that is thrown about like sweets these days. I mean, everybody to the left of the most hardcore Marxist is called far right these days. I mean, that's absolute nonsense. He's not at all, actually, to be honest. In many issues, he's way to the left of where I am and the Heritage Party is in the UK. He's not a social conservative, is actually a social liberal. And he supports abortion, euthanasia, gay rights, gay marriage, women's rights, easy divorce, all of those social things, which actually are just as destructive to our nations in the West as is mass rapid immigration. So on one side, on one issue, on one aspect, he's good, very good, on wanting to control immigration and look after the culture of the country and make sure that the culture is not destroyed through the Great Replacement. But on the other hand, he's a socially liberal, so he's not going to do anything about fighting these cultural Marxist ideologies that come through feminism and the alphabet people and all of that stuff. In fact, he's going to let them just continue and continue on. So he's not going to address that side of the things that are attacking our nations in a pincer movement. So, that is the downside of him and his party. He's not going to address those things. He's going to encourage them. The person in the party I like more, to be honest, in the Netherlands is Thierry Baudet and his party, the Forum for Democracy, which actually would agree completely with Geert Wilders on needing to control immigration, needing to come out of the EU, but it also is socially conservative and is for traditional family values and re-establishing them, turning back the definition of marriage to what it should be, a man and a woman, and cutting abortion and protecting children from things going into school which are going to teach them about trans and all the alphabet ideology, etc., the LG, etc., all that stuff. So he would be better, but he has been, I shouldn't laugh because it's not funny at all, over the last 2 weeks has been attacked twice by far left activists. 2 days before the election, actually, he was in a bar and Thierry Baudet, the leader of the Forum for Democracy, was hit over the head with a bottle by some far left activists. And obviously, and before that, he was attacked again, physically attacked by Antifa activists, obviously trying to kill him, because if someone hits you over the head, with a bottle and attacks you, they're actually trying to take him out because he is a real threat to the agenda. He's not just against immigration, he's against all the cultural Marxism. And in his foreign policy as well, he was against arming and sending money and weapons to Ukraine, whereas Geert Wilders was for that. He supported that. And they have differences in policy on the Middle East. I try to stay out of the Middle East, but they're what they say is very, very different. Geert Wilders is for one state solution. I mean, he's saying that all the Palestinians should leave completely and go and live in Jordan, whereas Thierry Baudet, I think he's like me, he stays out of the Middle East politics because I'm concerned about this country, not people in the Middle East who have to sort things out for themselves. So there are differences there. So I probably much more align personally, and the Heritage Party would align politically and in terms of policies with the Forum for Democracy. But of course, the Geert Wilders and the PVV, the Freedom Party, is going to do some good in some aspects, but no, he's a mixed bag in terms of the whole gamut and spectrum of policies. But better than some of the others who wants to come out of the EU. But the question is, will he stay in Agenda 2030? Will he stay in the World Economic Forum's policies and all that kind of thing as well? That is very difficult to find information out about that, because everything about him and his party is like, leave the EU, control immigration, cut down migrant crime. All good. But there's little that's said about other things. So in some aspects, he's a bit of an unknown quantity, but of course he's very, very wide, and all around the world for those headline policies. So we shall see what happens. We shall also see if he's able to form a government, because he's going to need to persuade quite a lot of people to join in a coalition with him to form a government and become the Prime Minister. And then if he's in a coalition, he may not be able to do everything that he wants to do. Because you have to compromise in the coalition. That's how it is in the Netherlands. I think it's a fairer system, proportionality, because your vote counts and people vote for who they really want to vote for, rather than voting for someone that they don't really want to keep someone out who is even worse, which is what happens in the UK. You know, people vote Tory to keep out Labour, people that vote Labour to keep out Tory. The Tories and Labour are exactly the same, and you end up just getting exactly the same thing all the time, until people break out of this spell that we have in the UK, and you can vote for the Heritage Party, which will put our nation right again. So please do think about that if you're watching. If you want change, like some changes coming to the Netherlands, not all the changes I would like to see through this election result. But if you want that change and more in the UK, please come and join me in the Heritage Party, heritageparty.org. You can sign up as a member and subscribe to our newsletter, and you can apply to be a candidate as well, which is vital for the local elections on 2nd of May 2024, and also for the general election, which is going to come up in 2024 as well. Okay, thanks for listening, everybody. God bless you all.